Here is your multimedia briefing for this Thursday, January 12th, 2017. The first map we'll take a look at, the latest watches, warnings, and advisories in effect. Now, this map was created at 3 o'clock, so we could have some updates through the evening and overnight hours. Check back at weather.gov for the latest headlines. But as of right now, freezing rain advisory in effect for southern Missouri, southeastern Missouri, into southern Illinois and southwest Indiana. It will begin late tonight and early Friday morning, continue through the day Friday, and then expire around 6 o'clock. To the north and west of the area, including the St. Louis Metro, Farmington, and Rolla, there's an ice storm warning in effect where slightly greater ice accumulations are forecast. And we do have winter weather headlines north of Interstate 64 as well. The latest ice accumulation forecast, we are predicting 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of ice across portions of southeast Missouri and southern Illinois, even a small part of southwest Indiana. For the last 2 or 3 days, we've really been focusing on locations from Marble Hill and Jackson up along I-55 toward Perryville, and then eastward toward Carbondale, West Frankfort, DeCoyne, and Mount Vernon. It's quite likely that this area could see a solid 1/4 inch of ice accumulation, maybe a little bit lower in some areas, slightly higher in others. That is our warning threshold, but still a little uncertainty with respect to that. But we think the highest amounts will be in that vicinity, and certainly as you head west into Missouri toward I-44, I-55, south and southwest of St. Louis. Now, back in our area to the south and east, from Poplar Bluff to right along the Ohio River, and then up toward the Evansville area, about 1/10 of an inch of accumulation. And slightly lower amounts are forecast in the Evansville area because we think the temperatures will not be 32 degrees quite as long as they will be over to the west in southern Illinois. So slightly lower amounts. Nevertheless, impacts still expected, but actual accumulations just slightly lower. And then into western Kentucky, we're looking for mainly rain. And again, you got to draw that magic line somewhere, but say Poplar Bluff, Paducah, Owensboro, kind of iffy right now, could get down to 32, 33. So probably not really any impacts there, but 2 or 3 hours of a minor glaze could not be completely ruled out, but more 50-50 there. Next graphic shows you where we expect the sub-freezing air to be overnight tonight. Now, through the evening hours, it'll be primarily dry for most of the advisory area, as this evening's rains will be down farther south into western Kentucky. It's late tonight. We will be focusing to the west over the Ozarks from Arkansas into Missouri, where light rains are forecast to develop, and by, say, 3 to 6 a.m. spread into southeast Missouri, and from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. moving across the Mississippi River into southern Illinois, and by mid-morning the Evansville area. So around midnight tonight, the 32-degree line from, say, Princeton, Indiana to Carbondale to Van Buren, Missouri, and by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, just north of Poplar Bluff, near the Ohio River, extending north and east towards Owensboro. Now, the main impacts with this system will be travel, and parking lots, sidewalks could get slippery as well for those out and about. The main roads may not be all that bad. The key time frame will be during the pre-dawn hours and just after sunrise, with temperatures below freezing and a lack of daylight. Those secondary and lesser traveled roads, untreated roads, bridges, and overpasses could become quite slick and hazardous. The more we get into the morning hours with some daylight, that could serve to work on those roads that are treated, and we actually may see some improvement in road conditions through the morning. Not all roadways necessarily, but say the more traveled roads, the main thoroughfares. Where we do expect glazing to continue through the day is more on elevated surfaces, your car, your mailbox, into the trees and in the power lines. But travel impacts may actually lessen somewhat through the day, but nevertheless, it'll be something to be concerned about all day long, just depending on pre-treatment conditions and, again, the amount of melting that can occur. So that is the latest with respect to this anticipated freezing rain event for late tonight and Friday. Check back for further updates here at the National Weather Service in Paducah. Have a great evening.